Want to improve your fretboard knowledge and finger independence? Well, check out this simple but powerful exercise that's going to open up the door for you. Octaves in all 12 keys. I'm Jericho Black, and in this video we're going to talk about an octave exercise that's going to build some finger independence as well as open up the entire fretboard for you. Why is it important for a beginner guitarist to learn octaves? Number one, it's not laid out like it is on a piano, and it's also going to improve your speed, ear training, and versatility. So you're going to be able to skip strings, you're going to be able to hear the interval distance, and it's going to build your ear training because we're going to do it in all 12 keys through the circle of fourths. But first, what is an octave? So an octave is the same note, but 12 frets apart, and typically 8 notes within a major or minor scale. So you have, for example, A again, just a register higher. We have 2 different ways that we'll see an octave on the guitar. So let's say we have the note A. We can go 12 frets up, and we have an octave there. Or we have an octave there. But when we get here to our 4th string and 2nd string, we have to skip a fret. And we carry that on down the set of strings. So those are the 2 ways you'll see an octave. Let's call that horizontally. Yeah, horizontally. Those are the 2 ways you're going to see it. But we're actually going to walk up and down the fretboard, and you'll see that in the exercise. So before we jump into the exercise in all 12 keys, let's just show you what it looks like in the first 2 so that you can see how it varies even though it's the same shapes being moved around. So we'll start with A, and then of course following the circle of fourths, go to D. D. So as you can see, when we came to D, when I got to this fret here, it's the same as that octave down there. So we always want to finish where we started. So the importance of transposing or just using all 12 keys is it allows you to understand the notes on the fretboard and not just practice in one scale where you may be practicing the scale, you're learning the shape, but you're not familiar with the intervals. So this isn't going to give you the intervals, but it's going to tell you exactly what note you're looking at. So if you know the scale and can say it out loud, then you'll know what notes you're hitting. And when you hit them, you'll be very familiar on the fretboard what note you're landing on. So common mistakes to avoid when practicing this exercise, number one being finger placement. So you definitely want to make sure that every time you come around to the same shape that you use the same fingerings, and that allows you to flow into the next position more comfortably. Number 2, over tensing or gripping up. I understand we have a tendency to think that holding the guitar tighter is going to make the note sound better, but it absolutely does not. So relax, take your time, and slow it down if you need to. Don't just try and practice it as fast as I'm doing it just to make the video as short as possible. Number 3, skipping key changes and not practicing in all 12 keys. I understand that starting this, it may be a little daunting, it may feel a little time consuming, and you may want to practice one key at a time. All good. But at the same time, do not hinder yourself by not practicing in all 12 keys, because you're not going to know where all the notes are. You're going to know that bundle of keys that you practiced, and that'll be that. So make sure that you expand yourself and continue to challenge yourself and knock it out. As you can see, the reason I laid it out for you so that you can see it can be done within 2 minutes. So once you get it down packed, it starts to move fluid, and even still in 2 minutes, I did it really slow. So I'm practicing to get it within a minute, within 30 seconds. I want to be a shredder, man. So let's get to it. 10,000 hours. Run it. So, in summary, we now learn that practicing in all 12 keys not only builds your ear training, but it builds your fretboard fluency and allows you to remember where all the notes are. And you'll feel comfortable with your muscle memory to just improv and know that you're landing on the right note. As you keep going, you'll know that if you're not on the right note, it's typically one fret away. So, final notes: start slow, gradually build speed as you gain comfort, and definitely work on all 12 keys. Don't limit yourself. Use a metronome. Use a metronome to start. I didn't use a metronome for this exercise just simply because I already did my warm up with my metronome and now I'm just trying to perform it for you. And of course, if you like this type of content, go ahead and like, subscribe, tune in for more guitar exercises, tips, and just some good music. Appreciate you checking in. Jericho Black, checking out.